Legrand is a leading provider of electrical solutions. We are pleased to introduce a full line of plug-load control solutions, including code-compliant controllable receptacles, and the latest offering, the plug-load RF receptacle with an integral relay which communicates with a plug-load RF signal pack. This video will show you how easy it is to install the plug-load RF receptacle and signal pack to conveniently control the plug load. The components that you will need for today's installation are the RF receptacle, which contains a built-in RF receiver and will turn on or off when it receives a message from the RF signal pack. The second component that you will need in the installation is the RF signal pack, which is essentially an RF transmitting device. The RF signal pack is connected to any new or existing occupancy sensor that utilizes a 24-volt DC input. This occupancy sensor is connected to a power pack that gives a 24-volt DC output. Each signal pack has the ability to control up to 16 RF controlled receptacles. It's important to note that this solution will work with any one of various 24-volt DC ceiling sensors. ASHRAE Energy Efficiency Standard 90.1 requires that at least 50% of all 125-volt, 15 and 20 amp receptacles in specified commercial spaces be controlled by an automatic means. To help you meet this requirement, Legrand offers two different types of plug-load control receptacles. The first is a dual-controlled receptacle, where both halves of the duplex receptacle are controlled. The second is a half-controlled receptacle, where one half of the duplex receptacle is controlled. In each case, the receptacle can be easily identified by the permanent markings on the face. Mounting of the RF signal pack is the first step in the installation process. The signal pack can be easily mounted to an acoustic ceiling tile. When installing the RF signal pack in a ceiling tile, it is necessary to drill a 7/8 inch hole into the ceiling tile. Next, install the provided threaded insert flange side by screwing it into the opening in the back of the signal pack, turning it clockwise until it locks. Next, insert the threaded insert through the opening you made in the ceiling tile and secure the signal pack to the tile using the provided plastic washer and nut. Additionally, keyhole mounting can be used as an alternate method to secure the RF signal pack to a hard surface. For keyhole mounting, use a template printed in the instruction sheet to mark the location of the mounting screws. Be aware that you need to drill a 1/2 inch hole through the mounting surface to pass the control wires through. The next step in the installation process is to connect the RF signal pack to the occupancy sensor and power pack. Note that there are 3 wires coming out of the RF signal pack. The blue wire is a control wire, the red wire is a 24-volt power input, and the black wire is the common wire. Connect the wires of the RF signal pack to the occupancy sensor and the power pack according to the diagram included in the instruction sheet. The connections are simply blue to blue, red to red, and black to black. Note that these are low voltage wires, so securely twisting them together and wrapping with electrical tape is sufficient. The plug-load RF receptacle, which installs like any traditional receptacle, is now ready to be bound to the RF signal pack. The binding procedure is a simple 3-step process and is guided by the LEDs on the face of the devices. Before binding, verify that the LED on the receptacles that you intend to bind to the RF signal pack are in a solid amber state. If the LED or LEDs are not solid amber, then reset the device to factory default by holding the receptacle bind button for approximately 15 seconds until the LED is a solid amber color. Once the receptacles that are intended to be bound are in a solid amber state, press and hold the bind button on the RF signal pack for 5 seconds until a multicolored LED on the signal pack flashes amber. In this case, all RF receptacles that are within range of the RF signal pack will flash green, noting they are ready to bind. The next step is to go to the individual RF receptacle or RF receptacles that you intend to bind and press and hold the bind button on the device for 2 seconds until the LED on the receptacle flashes amber, noting that it's properly bound. Repeat this step for all RF receptacles you wish to bind in the room network. And finally, you're going to return to the RF signal pack and press and hold the bind button for 5 seconds until the flashing LED on the RF signal pack turns off. All RF receptacles in the same room network will stop flashing, indicating that binding is complete. And last, we are going to test that binding has been successful by tapping the push button on the RF signal pack and confirm that the green LEDs on the receptacles turn on and off. The green LED on the receptacle is on when the outlet has power and off when the outlet is switched off. Any other receptacles that are wired from the load terminal of the RF controlled receptacle will also be turned on or off as indicated by the LED status of the RF receptacle. Note that the bind button on the RF receptacle or the RF signal pack can be pressed to temporarily override the occupancy sensor and turn the receptacle on or off. Legrand, a leading provider of electrical solutions, offers a complete line of plug-load control devices, which includes RF receptacles, timer receptacles, and a large assortment of permanently marked controllable receptacles, which will help you meet code and help you and your customers take a load off.